Welcome to Join the Watch, a Game of Thrones podcast by the Straits Times. I'm your host, Jonathan Roberts, and as ever, we're going in spoiler heavy. Many spoilers, because it's all over. Single tear. Yes, the grand finale happened, and the internet blew up. People loved it, people hated it. Well, let's find out what our panel thought. I am joined by Sakthivel, Melissa Heng, Jan Lee, and Hairianto Diman. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
And just for the very last time, the gag that stayed with us for the entirety of the season. They may not come from Westeros. They may not come from Essos. But they may have passed by Eunos. Yay!
Did it?
You never have to hear it again. A special shout out as well to our colleague Olivia Ho. She's been north of the wall, has not yet seen the finale as far as you know, so she may not even see this. The finale, essentially, in short, Jon killed Daenerys after some convincing from Tyrion. Drogon melted the throne. There was a bit of a time jump. Bran was elected king, and a new wheel was reset. That's kind of it in a nutshell. We had our audio podcast yesterday, immediately after the finale. What are your views? Have they changed any? Jan, you didn't like it. Do you still not like it?
Yeah, I still don't like it, man. I think Bran, I read a review that I really resonated with, which is that Bran is a deeply unsatisfying character because he basically, what exactly is he? Up to now, I don't fully understand what Bran does. Can he see the past, he can see what's going on, can he see the future? We don't know. He drops truth bombs here and there to push the plot forward, I guess, but it doesn't seem like he has much of a agency. I can't see his agency. We followed him for 6, 7 seasons, becoming the Three-Eyed Raven, doing all these things. And why exactly?
So when he told Tyrion, after being nominated to be king, and he said, "Why do you think I'm here?" You'd have preferred it if he just gave a bit of a wink to the camera?
I'm sorry. No, that's gross, because what does he mean by that? Has he been setting himself up to be king all this time? Did he purposely tell Jon who he was so that Jon would tell everybody, get threatened by Daenerys, and then eventually have to kill her? No, Bran is unsatisfying, and I am upset about that. I wish there was a little bit more explanation to just what Bran does. Why is the Three-Eyed Raven
the
here?
Idea that Bran has secretly engineered everything, to be honest. But Hairianto,
Still creepy
yesterday
Bran.
you were in complete flux. You didn't know what to think.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
didn't.
decided?
I guess. I mean, while I like the fact that I still stand at the fact that with the fact that we did see all the characters coming together, and this was something that we talked about in the early episodes. Like, how are they going to bring back, or are they even going to bring back all the characters together? And they did, right? In the scene where all the lords came together and then decided that, hey, okay, listen to Tyrion, and then Bran will be elected king. But at the same time, so I was reading up on reviews as well, and we talked about this in our audio podcast, that it was too quick for them to elect a king. And why were they listening to Tyrion? And I am on that camp now, that says, why are they listening to Tyrion? I understand you said that in the podcast as well that, hey, Tyrion has had dealings with them in one way or another. But at the end of the day, I think it would be nice to kind of see what are their own motivations as well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, now that we've seen the new Dawn King, whoever he is, or whether he's a prince.
Dawn.
Yeah, Prince of
The
whoever he
unknown
is, right?
prince.
Unnamed Prince of Dawn.
And then I finally remember who this Robin Arryn is.
Yes.
And then there's all these other people. I'm pretty sure they themselves have their own motivations. But for them to just go after Tyrion give this speech about, Bran is this, Bran is that, stories, and Bran is this mystical creature. I'm like, hey, in the first place, do they even know all these mystical things about Bran? And then they just bought it, and then they go yep, let's have Bran let's have this Bran the Broken,
Which is a bad name.
to be the king. Yeah,
Can we pick a better
that's my issue. But on the whole, I guess it was just nice to see everybody coming together. Yeah.
Such Bran hate. I don't know.
It's not hate.
Sakthi, how are you feeling?
I think yesterday I kind of left thinking, I guess the bones of the story are okay, but the meat they put on it is not so good, like offcuts. But over the
How far are you taking this meat analogy?
Just put it
Are the sausages involved?
No, let's not get there. There was one mention, but yeah, but over the day, over last night and today, we've read reviews, we've read reactions, and I feel like I dislike it more. I was kind of with you when you said like, hey, it's a good bit of an unexpected turn to see Bran become king.
Yeah.
But, and then I thought back about it and what like the writers said about why they chose Arya to be the one to kill the Night King, because it would be unexpected. And I feel like that's the only reason they did this, because no one's expected it, we should just do it. For something to be unexpected and then to be a shock, it still has to go back to the beginning and all work again.
Well, from what we know, George R.R. Martin gave them all these particular points. They know what he wants at the end. Now, they have to work out how it's going to happen in the scope of a TV show. Yeah, you're still going to end up with the same result, just with a bit more flesh.
That's the thing,
to bring back your meat.
Yeah, that's the thing, you see. So if GRRM has given them the bones, these guys are supposed to put the meat on, they have,
So your problem is more pacing?
Not so much pacing, just how it was done. And at the speed, yeah, definitely had the speed at which it was done.
Okay.
So, and then all these news coming out about, I didn't find this out until maybe last week, about how it's supposed to be 10 episodes and they got it cut. The last season got cut to like 7 and then now it's 6. So I think it's all, I've got a bit annoyed.
Melissa?
I still like it. I still like it, how the way it ended. I think that there will always be what ifs, there will always be what could have been. I agree that the season as a whole was rushed. And I think, could we have had one more episode at least of seeing, like what Hairianto said, seeing the motivations behind all those lords coming together to elect Bran? Yes, I think so. But I think it was a good turnout. I feel that as a fan, I've emotional closure for the characters that I really care about. I like that Jon killed Dany. I can accept that Bran is king.
So you're not sure about Bran being king as well?
I just don't like the way it got there. I think that he's the most kind of logical choice as much as logic plays a part in it, but I think we could have just seen like why these people would even believe that he could be king a little bit more, and their agendas that just we didn't get to see lah.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, and yeah, I like that at the end we got to see all the Starks kind of have their good, happy endings, like,
Season 8 has been possibly the most divisive of all the seasons. Nobody seemed happy from the start, or at least large factions. We've had petitions online to remake the season with over 1 million signatures, which is about as pointless as buying Bran a trampoline. There's been good and there's been bad throughout the entire thing. As a season, what do you think were your best and worst moments? Hairianto?
For me, best moment would be Arya killing Night King, and I've said that in our episode as well when we talked about that. I remember watching that. You were in the other room, you weren't with us, but I remembered when the scene happened, I stood up from my seat and I cheered. I mean, of course, hey, it culminated to that. That's it, he's dead now, everything's gone. But I thought it was beautifully done.
It shows how engrossing it was, because I was actually in the room with you at that point.
Oh,
I'd come in by that time.
Yeah, but yes, so I like that bit. What I didn't like about the season, though, it's the pacing of it. I felt, especially towards episode 4, 5, and 6, the last one, there were just too much walking. Like, I don't know where they were walking to. They were
You're
just
obsessed with
walking.
this thing.
They were just walking and walking. So it's like walking shot and then cut to something else and then cut back to them walking around. I feel that if they had cut down on the walking to use those time to kind of like, do a better plot feel, or, to use those time to kind of like fill the gaps a little bit, I think that would have been much better.
I think you hate walking more than Jon Snow now.
Oh no, it's on the same level. Yeah, I still don't like Jon Snow.
I mean, of course, Arya killing the Night King feels very extremely earned. Her whole arc has been her learning to kill people, basically. Like all my series faves are all Arya killing people. It's like mortal phrase. Yeah, sorry, I really like that. Worst moment, there are so many.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just blurted that out, didn't I? Okay, I think both Olivia has told me about this, and I also feel the same way about it. Jamie's redemption arc being thrown away completely, that was not great. And Olivia specifically mentioned the respect sex between Jamie and Brienne.
Respect sex coined by Hairianto, of course.
Respect sex.
Which
Respect
is
sex.
having sex with someone because you respect
that
them.
person.
It's a sex driven by respect
Yes.
for each other, which is bad. It was not something I wanted Brienne to have. I don't think Olivia wanted that either. You know, she was a character who's so strong, so empowered. And then she has respect sex and gets dumped, and then she cries over a dude in her bathrobe, which Brienne, we've all been there. Okay, we've all been there.
More meat-based analogies from you, Sakthi?
Hey, do you wanna turn the viewers off? I think what was really good for me was, this is in hindsight obviously, I think the season peaked in episode 1 when they first get to Winterfell, the gang first gets to Winterfell, and there's a scene of Davos talking to Tyrion and Varys. And he describes, and of course this is the first time I think Varys has been to the north, and I think this is probably the first few times that Tyrion has been to the north for any kind of, any long time, any kind of extended stay. And so they're fighting and they're like arguing about the Northmen, and then Davos says, the Northmen are as stubborn as goats. And as he says this, they're in some market type situation. There's a goat that bleeds in the background. I think the season peaked for me there.
Right.
It was episode 1, like what, for 30 minutes in, 35 minutes in. I feel after it's just been a downward. Right. And there was, I agree with you guys about that scene with Arya when she kills the thing and then.
But it's not as good as a goat bleat, right?
No, that was good. So there was a peak there, and then it just went down from there. We wanted this to kind of be a payoff, big payoff for us so much, and we spent the last 2 years kind of thinking about it, discussing it, going on forums, going on the internet, reading this, reading that. I feel sometimes that maybe our expectations have become so high.
So you're saying it's the viewer's fault, and it's your own fault for creating so many scenarios. They could do this, they could do that. Which we found in the last episode. Oh, is Arya going to do the face-off thing again? You know, is there going to be like, oh, is the Drogon going to blast Jon Snow with fire and they're going to find out he's a real Targaryen after all? Yeah, it's just projecting. It's just saying, oh, I wish this had happened. But when you look at it, I feel, in like
kind of objective way?
Yeah, if you talk about how would that fit into a program, you just think, no, it couldn't. It'd be like just scenes of fan service that go along without coherence. And whilst I'll go with you on pacing, definitely, because I'm still no fan of episode 2, and I know I'm kind of solo in that.
Episode 2 is good.
4 and 5 were definitely worse. For me, best moment, I mean, I agree with Jen and Hairianto, of course, about Arya killing, but I also really like Jon Snow killing Daenerys. Just because, like, up until that point, we're getting really sick of him saying, you know, she's still my queen, and being like, not seeing reality.
There is a supercut of him saying, "You're my queen," and it's about 6 times throughout the entire season. And when you put it together, it's a lot.
Yeah,
you're my queen, you're my queen, you're my queen.
He should know better because he's seen the dead bodies, right? And so when he made that decision to, you know, just kill her, I was like, yes, he did the right thing, as he should, right? So I like that. Worst, again, there's so many, and episode 4 and episode 5 were hard for me. I think more time could have been spent, again, like we're saying, developing Daenerys' descent into madness, and just giving us as an audience more cause to believe in that turn. They set up all the right points, but there wasn't enough just of her descending into madness lah. It was a very sudden turn for me.
But who could she talk to? I mean, it'd be in a dialogue, wouldn't it? Is she just going to talk to her
Why
dragons?
does it have to be a dialogue?
Because she's got no one else to talk to.
It can be her by herself at one point.
She was like, oh, I'm going mad. Is it?
Nothing, it's just more to do with her actions that kind of set this up.
Yeah.
I think there was an argument online that there was enough there for a whole another season. You
yeah,
know?
Or could it
definitely.
be
That's
could it also be the fact that Miss Sunday did? I mean, her last word was
Dracarys,
yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
frigid.
that's yeah.
Yeah. So
No, but I mean,
thought,
like, we got small moments of it. We got, like, when Tyrion spoke to Daenerys and her hair is all messy and she
Yeah.
concludes, like, that she's been betrayed, and then that moment where she talks to Grey Worm and she gives Grey Worm Missandei's, like, collar,
Yeah.
right? So I think just these could have been played up a little bit more, and
Right.
like they could have shown her a bit more, and then try and express like what she was really feeling, and then
Over a longer period of time.
yeah, and then that was just something that
So cut on the
They
less of
didn't
the
do lah.
walking and then focus more on Daenerys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good, that's good.
Well, as for best moment, yeah, for me, it will still always be episode 3. It's just a monumental achievement, even though people criticised it for being too dark. I mean, visually too dark. But that moment, yeah, I keep on watching this scene from a bar in the US where
Yeah.
the crowd is watching
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Is it Burlington?
It is, yes, the Burlington bar. It's such a moment. It is like Liverpool scoring the winning goal in the
Oh,
Champions League.
Wow.
It is. No, it really is. It's like a sports event. It's such an amazing that moment, and to watch it with people is when it really comes alive. So yeah, Arya. With talk of Arya, who is your MVP for the season?
I would say for me it would be Theon actually, Theon Greyjoy.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think that he fulfilled his arc. So we saw, how he started out as this coward, and then he did mistakes and all that, and then eventually he decided, okay, you know what, I need to redeem myself, and which he did, right? Towards the end, he said he's going back to Winterfell, and he decided to put himself in the most dangerous position, which is to defend Bran.
Yeah.
And of course, the part where he charges forward, and this is what Mel and I were talking about, and Mel told me this, and I thought, oh yeah, the part where he charged towards the Night King. I mean, we know that Theon has never been an intelligent character, right? But the fact that he charged towards the Night King is symbolic of how he has shed off his cowardice and just be a brave person, right, to face his fear head on. And then, all this while when he was up against Yara, when Yara was held hostage by Euron, he decided to just chicken out and then jump off the boat.
Yep.
So, the fact that he charged forward, I thought that was quite symbolic of him getting his bravery back. And then, of course, him dying in the most honor of honor.
And then gets completely overshadowed by Arya.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jen, MVP.
And Sansa, obviously, Sansa Stark.
Queen
first off her
Sansa.
name. Yes,
Queen
thank
in
you
the
so
North.
much, Queen in the North. Her character arc has been the most earned alongside Arya. I think everything that has happened to her, and she's always been quite brave a person. She grew up, but she has. You remember that moment on the bridge where she was trying to push off Joffrey? Yeah, she has always been a woman who's like, I can do this for my family. And I love that she wanted to be queen when we first see her. And she does become queen, but in the best way possible and the most different way possible. And I love that. And she really pushed a lot of events forward in this story, getting back Winterfell and doing a lot of things like that. So that was nice. Shout out to Three-Eye Raven, because we keep talking about Bran becoming king, but actually it's the Three-Eye Raven, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, who might be immortal, and that's a little bit scary and sinister, or not. So he definitely got what he wanted.
Just a shout out to Grey Worm as well for surviving the whole thing.
Just surviving.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Everybody bet on him to die.
Yeah.
And, like, survive.
Alyssa,
For me, I think Samuel Tarly.
MVP?
Because like looking at him, did you think he was gonna survive the
Just like
battle
Grey
at
Worm.
Winterfell?
Well, he was lying on a
He
bunch of
did,
bodies
right?
and
There was
stabbing
a
up
point-
like that.
MVP.
I'm sorry, but there was a point in time, right, where he was lying on corpses, stabbing more live corpses,
have died
and I was
there.
like, "How is this dude still alive?" And he made it to the end, and he became Maester, which is like his dream job, right? So
But then he brings in one of the worst moments of
Okay, I'm
the
just
episode
gonna forget
when he
about
brings in the
that.
book and says,
that's not
Oh,
his
it's a
choice.
song of ice and fire.
It's like director's fault. For me, like, I mean, Sam at the start also is like, you look at the way that Game of Thrones is done, right? And if you remember Sam at the start, you're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna die, man!" Like,
Oh, yeah.
he just wants to read his books, you know. He can't even really fight, but he made it through. And
First to kill a White Walker.
yes, first to kill a White Walker, he figured out so many things. He's so intelligent. He healed, what's his name?
Jorah.
He healed Jorah. Yeah,
lover
so
of
I
ladies.
just like him, and I like that he's made it to the small council even.
Well, always surprises coming on. Sakthi?
Just a point about Sam, and it will kind of work in with my guy as well. A lot of these people seem to have failed upwards. You know what I mean? I mean, like, yes, he healed that one guy. So it's like this guy's gone off to university. He did one research project, and I said, yeah, take a PhD, man. Go. Good job. And they gave him all that, and then he's a minister now. I feel there was maybe it's part of the pacing thing. We just missed all of this. So talking about failing
I get
upwards.
the feeling you don't like fiction.
I don't know, man. Like, just comparing it to previous seasons, I feel like they told us more things. Anyway, talking about failing upwards, I think the king of this has been Tyrion. He's the MVP because he has been rubbish for at least 2.5 seasons now. And
Still survives.
and he survived, and he came out kind of on top. And like the whole, if you look at it, the kind of things that defined him over like the whole series has been the trials he's been put on. And they're they're basically what they're telling us is Tyrion is the Harvey Specter of Westeros. Get him in a courtroom in a trial situation, and he's gonna come out on top.
Yep.
Never lost a case.
Yep.
Bran is like, yeah, he's the guy for the job. He's gonna be hand again to fix all the damage he's done.
Yeah.
And
But he's going to get no credit for it. He's already written out of the book, and it's something that he doesn't really want to do.
But I would argue that now he has all the wine and all the brothels. So that's basically what he wants.
And we never did find out what happened when he went into a brothel with a donkey and a honeycomb. My MVP, yeah, I'm going to go with Sansa. Over the entire course of the series, she had the arc that lasted all the way to the very end and was an achievement. Arya, yeah, she got there, but pretty much it seems quite clear that after episode 3,
She kind of faded
they
out.
were stuck with what to do with her.
Yeah.
Just had her wondering. Okay,
They had her walking.
essentially, she
They had
added
her walking. Yeah.
a bit more drama in episode 4, her being on the ground when the dragon's
Walking,
blowing the thing up.
yeah.
But yeah, special shout out, of course, to my man Davos, a grumpy old uncle who miraculously made it to the end and is now master of ships. So
Can we also do a shout out to Davos's wife, who he has not mentioned at all and has made no effort to go back to find her? He clearly has a wife.
Oh.
He clearly has a wife. He has a son. He has a wife.
Oh, right.
And he's master of ships now. And where's his wife? We don't know.
for Davos as well, he started this series unable to read, and now he's adapted his former boss's ability to correct grammar. So this was the end of Game of Thrones, at least this incarnation of it. There are apparently about 5 spin-offs coming out. One that we know of is based on The Long Night, which is kind of a history thing. The history of the Night King, the Children of the Forest, and the First Men, not the First Men, or the Age of Heroes.
Age of Heroes.
Yeah. Any other spin-offs that you'd like to see? Hairianto.
I guess Arya going on with her whole Christopher Columbus adventure thing.
Arya the Explorer.
Arya the Explorer.
Thanks,
and of
Twitter.
which, of course, in the end, she ends up with Gendry.
Oh, no. Ew.
Okay, well, let's shut that one off. Jen?
So many spin-offs. I would watch Tormund and Ghost having adventures. I would watch that. Sansa being queen in the north and being totally cool. I would watch that. Bran wagging to dragons. Yeah, Drogon and his lone body terrorizing wherever he is. I would
Drogon on
watch
the corpse
that.
of Daenerys.
Yes, and can we just, I know Jon's not supposed to have kids, he's not supposed to take a wife, but there is no doubt that Jon would have picked out a redhead amongst one of those wildlings that he rode off with, and
he's done it with Ygritte, right?
he's
What's
done
stopping
it.
him?
What's stopping him? He's gonna find another cave and another woman with a great hair color, and he's gonna
Although
do some stuff.
any woman that does fall in love with him should know his prior
record.
history, they don't end up well.
Yeah.
They don't
Melissa.
end up well.
I think I agree with Hairianto on that. I want to see what Arya got up to after she just
Going
went off.
west of Westeros.
Yeah.
To west of
just like
Westeros.
adventures of an assassin, maybe.
And getting married to Gendry.
No,
No.
I don't think so at
No.
all. I mean, she's left him and she deserves much better than him.
Sakthi.
I think I could do with a sequel, just maybe 5 years later type of thing.
Right.
Just
how
see
it-
how bad it's got.
Yeah.
How everything
poorly,
fell apart
how
again.
poorly has it's
So
gone.
Bronn on the
yeah.
Blackwater.
Yeah, and they put him in charge, so
Yeah.
that's got to be a situation rife with comedy. So, and yeah, it would be a comedy. It would not be a serious drama at all.
More of a sitcom.
yeah,
A
yeah.
sitcom.
It'll be like Veep, but set in Westeros.
Bronn doing
Well,
weird things.
I do like the idea of Tormund and Ghost. Nice animated adventure for the kids.
Yes.
We've seen many locations, many castles, many beautiful realms, some harsher than others. Where would you want to live in a Game of Thrones world? Hairianto?
Either High Garden or Dawn. Simply because Dawn is very exotic. I don't know, the people look very exotic, the girls look exotic, the princesses look exotic. So I would
And it
say
looks
either-
fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. Yeah, it looks fun. Yeah. So either Highland or
High Garden.
Dawn. High Garden, High Garden. Yeah, High Garden because it's pretty like it looks like a little garden-ish, you know. And I imagine just walking.
Oh, now you like it.
now I like
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jen?
I mean, I think everybody's gonna pick around the same places,
Yeah.
either High Garden or Dawn, right? I mean, Dawn's your, chill, laid back, have some drinks, and High Garden is just like really rich and luxurious, and you have all the food because they say High Garden,
yes.
High Garden has agriculture, so you have great
producers,
food,
right? The food, yeah.
some great milk. You could have some great ice cream there. I'm in High Garden, actually, and you will have a great grandma in Olenna Tyrell. She didn't die. So.
She didn't die lah. Yeah.
Okay. Melissa?
Yeah, I pick Dawn. I mean, as much as there's all this action going on in the mainland of things, I'm like, no, why bother with all this death, dying, and now that there's all these dead bodies around, disease. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go Dawn, go there and chill in the sun, in the gardens, with the wine. Yeah.
And the hot man. Oberyn Martell was hot.
It's exotic, exotic,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
it's like far away and all that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
might pick Nath also, just because there's beaches there. The Unsullied are going there, so it's definitely going to be
protect-
safe.
Safe.
It's going to be
Okay.
safe.
And hot men
Yeah.
guarding your streets.
Yeah, maybe Nath.
They're like your, they're
but
your
hot men
firemen.
without, you know.
But they're nice to look at. I mean,
Okay.
you want to. Can we all just agree that King's Landing would smell? Can we all just agree? Because clearly the sewer problem hasn't been solved. So I think King's Landing would stink.
In the world of medieval things, yeah, everywhere would smell. It'd be
Yes,
awful.
That is
exactly.
true, yeah.
There's
That's
poo
probably why you want to
everywhere.
go Dawn. And with that, our watch has finally ended. It's been a wonderful experience actually watching it with these guys. Game of Thrones is also quite an achievement anyway. I don't think TV will ever be the same. I don't think there's quite the same appointment TV in the world of streaming, where you actually have to be in one place at one time and be able to watch it there to avoid spoilers and experience it with everyone. And when I say everyone, it's the whole world. Love it, loathe it, everyone's been watching it. We shall have to see if any of the spin-offs quite manage the same thing. But yeah, it's time to go. So with that, I thank the panel. And so for one last time, I say, Valar morghulis.
Valar
Dohaeris.